Oh, hello, hello. I'm Scotty. You're not into that. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Okay, anyway, day 17. And we have a RocketMan. Nope, not the 2019, 2018, not the biographical film about Elton John starring Taron Egerton. No, this is a 1997 Disney film starring Harlan Williams, Bill Sadler, and Bo Bridges about Fred. Forget the last name. But a guy named Fred who always wanted to be an astronaut, and he gets the lucky chance to do that, but he's a bumbling idiot. But he's the only one, really, that could do this job. There's another person, but confines of the movie. And I watched this back when I was a kid, and I remember liking it. And it played a lot of Wonderful Disney and on Disney Channel. But watching it again as an adult now, through different eyes, wow, Harlan Williams is annoying as fuck. I mean, he is annoying. I mean, he's God. I'm screaming at the TV. Shut the fuck up, because he's just God. He goes overboard. He's like the Disney version of Will Ferrell. I mean, this is the guy you get when you want to go overboard with stuff. Why did you want him to go overboard with this? Why did you want him to do this? There's just some things that just go too much. Singing John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, and like that, it's just most of the comedy in this. I don't even. When I was a kid, fart jokes, and it wasn't me, get a laugh out of me. But as an adult, it's just like, this is rough. Most of the jokes don't even hit for me. Like a lot of Fred's stuff is just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, at least. And it's just, I don't know. I was ready to say this is an underrated gem because I never hear anyone talk about it, but no, this was a little bit rough. It's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. I guess I didn't care for it. It looks like the Great One's trying to give me a kiss right now. No. Anyway, so yeah, Fred, like we started this like right away, and I was just like, oh, this is the comedy I'm rooting for. Okay, so right away we see Fred as a kid. His mom is played by Shelley Duvall, by the way, in probably one of her last roles before she disappeared. And he's in a freaking dryer, getting ready for takeoff, pretending he's in a spaceship, and it starts tumbling. He's like, oh, I want mommy, I want mommy, I want mommy. This little kid it's kind of funny because it's not Harlan Williams. It's kind of funny because the little kid is funny, but then you get the adult version of Fred, and it's just, nope. It doesn't work. It turns out the computer system he designed for the space shuttle, there's a problem with it. But it turns out it's not a problem with the design, it's a problem with the guy who is running it. He's doing it wrong. But he doesn't admit to it, and when he tries to prove that he was doing it right, there's a malfunction, and he gets injured. From a thing crashing into his head, he gets a neck. This is a movie injury, so he gets like a neck thing, a concussion with a neck brace. Okay, so now I have to decide who is going to replace this guy, this astronaut who's been trained for this stuff, or Fred. Because it's a comedy movie, Fred gets this job. And because he drives the other guy freaking nuts. Yeah, of course he does. And right away, you could tell Bill Sadler, he's taking no shit from him. He wants nothing to do with him. He doesn't think he's in there. They get him drunk, and he's like rolling around. And again, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's Jesus Christ stomping up there. It's not funny. It's just annoying, all this stuff. And then there's the thing, he has to room with the chimp because comedy. And, the movie Ed, weird as it is, and this is a real monkey, but I think it was funnier. I'm going to have to review Ed one of these times. That should be in my Pick 10 90s, too. So it was going to be in Pick 10 90s 1. I don't think I ever got around to doing it. Ed should be one of my reviews. It's in that family collection thing that I got, and I was gonna do them all, but I chickened out because I don't know, I couldn't convince myself to do it, but so yeah, they go on the mission, and on the way there we see Bo Bridges' character, Bo Bridges, I forget his name, Tibbet, something like that, Tibbet. Apparently, he was the one who messed up the Apollo 13 mission. I don't know if there's an actual person with that name, but he had Bud. His name is Bud. Bud gives this coin to Fred for good luck. He goes on the mission, and through things I'll reveal later about what really happened, but this, was a nice little touch. And up to this point, I was like, okay, this movie's fine. Some of the comedy with Arlen Williams isn't working. Then, so the shuttle launches off. They're up there. They did the whole world in my hands thing. That they had the food. They mess up the food, and that's a little funny. Like she's eating toothpaste, which can't taste bad. Like, to get those Bean Boozled things, and you're going through, and like the best bad flavor is always toothpaste because at least it's gonna taste minty, right? But then, Bill Sadler gets the hemorrhoid cream, and we see earlier because the monkey was putting him on. It's the monkey that did it. So it's kind of funny, but like we see that there was laxatives, and that comes back to haunt Fred, and then he gets sucked to the toilet. But he doesn't get sucked out of the toilet into space. He just gets sucked to the toilet and got half blue. This is when we get the whole world in my hands. And I remember this being funny when I was a kid, but you have Harlan Williams doing fake French, fake German, fake Chinese, and it's like, should he be canceled? Because I feel like he should be canceled. This is, nowadays, no. So a thing with the president who's not Bill Clinton, but and then we get probably the worst part of this movie. So, they get to go into hypersleep chamber for 8 months. How their bodies will get food into them for 8 months, maybe it's in the machine that they're using, who knows. But they're going into the hypersleep, and the chimp takes Fred's hypersleep chamber, so he has to use the chimp's, Ulysses, so we call him by that, Ulysses' chamber. But it only knocks him out for 13 minutes because it couldn't close all the way. So now Fred is stuck out there while they're in hyper sleep. And while I was rocking and rolling to the song, I was tossing and turning and tossing. I was dancing to that. But this whole part just was like, what? And the inconsistencies. Like, 8 months. You girl here, there's a part where he's got like a goatee. And another part, he's just got stubble. And another part, he's got a full beard and long hair. 8 months. His hair wouldn't grow that long in 8 months. What? And he cut his hair? How? That doesn't make any sense. Logic be damned with this movie, I guess. But, yes, and despite the fact that he has to make sure everything looks the same when they wake up, he's like, use the food after he talks to Bud, and Bud says ration the food so you don't run out of it. He uses the food to paint a mural of him and Ulysses, the pill finger thing where he's naked and it's the other person, and that thing. He paints that, and he uses the food to do it, which Bill does comment on, but it doesn't go anywhere. Oh, by the way, Fred and Julie, that's the other person out here, Julie Ford, they're love interests. Why? I have no idea. Because dorky guy gets the hot girl. Um, but yeah, and they do this whole like, well, when I was a kid, I picked the star, and that's my star. And she's like, I did that too, and oh, it's the one right next to yours. How convenient. And then he sings When You Wish Upon a Star, which is not bad. He sounds pretty good. And yeah, I wish there was more funny monkey stuff in this, but there's really not. The stuff they try to do is only to accompany Harlan Williams, and it doesn't really work. But yeah, so they have to go out and collect the sample, I guess. But before that, Fred said there was going to be a storm, and he tells Bud this. When Bud tries to tell Paul, the manager, he's like, or the guy running is like, nah, there's no problems. We see nothing on our radars. It's fine. Even though he showed him a thing. Like when Fred tried to tell him, he's like, I didn't see anything. And then he pulls it up and he shows Bud. So why doesn't he show him that? It doesn't. He keeps trying to tell him to the point where the guy's like, no, get him out of here. He calls security to escort him. He will not listen to him. We find out from Bud that it was this guy's fault that the Apollo 13, at least in this universe, the Apollo 13 thing failed, or whatever happened. And, you know, he had to be able to take over the command, and he didn't. He tries to do it here, and he gets shut down. And then, eventually, you know, Fred's like, there's a big storm. And like he's like, there's a big storm outside. We gotta get out of here. And he's like, no, our radars are fine. Just go ahead with the mission. No, I'm serious. There's something outside. And he's like, what? We saw nothing. We saw nothing. Did you even look at the damn radars? I don't think he even looked at them. Because if they were actually looking, they would have found something. But yeah, Bud is giving command. The other guy's relieved. But the commander, you know, Bill, he went out with Ulysses to collect the sample, or whatever it was, and hasn't come back. So Fred goes out and leaving Julie and said 20 minutes and take off. Or you can wait 21, kind of thing. He goes out. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the part that when I was a kid made me laugh. This was just... Okay, I giggled a little bit. It's a fart joke. The commander has a tear in his suit, so they have to, or in his air canister thing, whatever, they have to link it together, his and Fred's. Fred has a gastrointestinal problem and farts. And he goes into the commander's suit, and okay, I giggled a little bit, but it's poor taste, fart humor. It's funny. It's funny, it's not funny, it's funny. I don't know. Yeah. So they have to do it again, but there's no hose, so Fred has to just give Ulysses his tank, and Fred has to hold his breath. Apparently, it connects back to his training. Sure. And then Fred gets there, and he has to give him mouth-to-mouth by Julie, and then tries to give the monkey mouth-to-mouth, but the monkey was just resting, give him a kiss, which I did laugh at. That was funny. That was funny. I'll tell you that. And then Fred has to fix it. She's all up to Fred. We're not all screwed, but he's got to fix the thing because it's tumbling. They tried to take off, and it's tumbling back down, and he has to fix it. I did kind of laugh at this. He goes, Fred, you can do this. It's like, I'm going to need you to stop tumbling and give me about a week. It's not going to stop tumbling, and you got 2 minutes. And I did laugh. He's got to, you know, because the whole thing, you know, moving, whatever. I think he actually failed, but he does it here. Saves the day. And then he and Julie kiss. Well, they, you know, he asked her to dance. So they dance to When You Wish Upon a Star. They kiss during the dance, and then the monkey kisses Bill, which I laughed. And I would love to know if that was not in script. And the monkey just saw them do that and decided to kiss Bill Sadler. And he kind of just went with it. Like, he didn't freak out. I don't know. Kind of funny. But then they had to do it again. So the movie ends with them going back into the hypersleep. And I'm like, oh, no, they're not going to do it again. I haven't seen this in a while. They do it again. as he is talking about the old time. Boy meets girl, girl goes in hypersleep. Same thing happened before. Ulysses takes it, and not again. Yeah, it's happening all over again. And then we get the RocketMan song by Elton John. This movie is the middle of the road. It didn't hit for me. This is the first one I think was the middle of the road. Maybe Dick Tracy was the middle of the road. The first one in a while that's the middle of the road. It didn't hit like it used to. I used to really like this movie. It happens when you grow up. Some humor. I like fart humor, but it's probably the only Fred joke that they get a giggle out of me is the fart humor, but it wasn't like a big I was like, okay, that's funny. That's what it was. But yeah, it's the middle of the road. I guess it didn't age well for me. Now, we're back to the animated world. And with this next movie, there's only one rule. No touching. No touching. No touching. No touching. Till then, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.